If this goes here, that means Bill would... No, that doesn't make any sense. But maybe the Oracle could... No, that still doesn't work. I can't figure this out. Gravity Falls is too confusing.
Well. Someone's looking desperate.
I'm not letting you into my head. I'm not going to be your puppet.
Seems to me one little puppet is a small price to pay to learn all the secrets of the universe.
All the secrets?
Tick-tock, kid.
Fine. Hello all, and welcome back to the Gravity Falls website, thisisnotawebsite.com. This extremely cryptic website and book have caused so many questions, but we're here to answer them all. In this video, we don't just solve the book, we don't just solve the website, we uncover the entire lore. Gravity Falls was once one of the most cryptic shows of all time, until now. This is a continuation of our Book of Bill series, so if you haven't watched our previous 3 videos, there's a card on the top right-hand side of the screen for the full series. In this episode, we're going to solve the Oracle, the Nightmare Realm, the multiverse, and the truth about Bill Cipher's existence. I said that the last episode was going to be the biggest and most in-depth video, but that has nothing on this one. But of course, the only place to start is at the beginning. There's a lot that is unknown about the aftermath of Weirdmageddon. We know what happened to Bill, we know what happened to the Pines family, but there's a group we're disregarding. A group that starts our journey to explaining everything. On a phone call transcript of Bill being upset that Stanford betrayed him, there is a sauce packet with ciphertext on it. It says hot skaladdle. If we were to put this phrase into the website, we get a report from the dimensional authorities. It is a most wanted post for the various henchmaniacs that followed Bill Cipher. They don't know where this group went, but they also have missing intel on another member, a more specific one. On the side, it says missing intel 7 eyes. Luckily, we're able to put this into the website, and it will display an interesting Polaroid. It appears to be an alien in a hood with 3 question marks below. On the back, it says, "Leave him. Escape to dimension," but it's scratched out. It's against the rules, but it's the one reality where you may be safe from him. Is this person scared of Bill Cipher? Hold on, I think we've actually seen them before. In the Henchmaniac section of the Book of Bill, there is someone that's crossed off and yup, that is the exact same picture. Now, this begs the question, why does Bill say that she's not important? Well, we first need to learn who she is. In Journal 3, we can actually see this person. She is known as the Oracle, but her real name is Jesselbrom the Unswerving. Right under it is text that reads, "The opposite of Bill." She was treating Stanford's wounds, and strangely knew about his mission to defeat Bill Cipher. She told him that if he wanted to win, he was going to have to protect his mind by putting a metal plate in his head. As her name suggests, she seems to be able to predict the future, saying that Stanford had the face of the man who is destined to destroy Bill. While technically it wasn't Stanford who did it, it was someone with the face of Stanford, his own twin brother. Now that we know who she is, let's find everything that we know about her. Wait, this is it? What are we supposed to do with this? Well, maybe this is all we need. We can already piece a few things together at least. On the back of the 7 Eyes Polaroid, there is a code on the bottom right corner written in the Theraprism cipher. It reads, "Set coords to dimension reality." This seems huge, but I don't know if we know enough yet to understand this. Let's keep this in our safe for later. We do know that she was once a part of Bill's henchmaniacs, but not only had a falling out with him, wanted his reign of terror to end. The fact that Bill says she's not important is very interesting. He has been stabbed in the back by so many people. The shaman who banned him from the entire village and hit him with the prophecy for his defeat, the wizard who locked him up and kept him as entertainment, and Stanford Pines, but he had no problems talking about them. The Oracle must be really important and hold the answers to a lot of our questions about Gravity Falls. Wait, I think there was something that we missed here on the shaman page. It says, just as I was sending out the invites to my first Weirdmageddon, he canceled the deal, burned our Redwood portal to the ground, evacuated the tribe, and banned me from the entire village with a mix of ancient sorcery and pure spite. And why? He got cold feet after having a vision of how my realm liked to party. On the left side of the page, there is Theraprism text that reads, "Which henchmaniac ratted me out?" It feels likely that the henchmaniac in question would be the only one that's crossed out, especially considering she's called the Oracle and the shaman saw a vision, but I really don't like to speculate. If we're gonna say something, I want hard facts. Ugh, if only we could just see what was written here. Wait, we can see most of the words. I bet we could figure it out. We just need to know the font. This is DIN condensed font, which means that we can start matching up the letters we know to fill in these gaps. There we go. Now, there's also a lot of words that we can mostly see. This word is clearly smartest. This is one, which means this first word has to be the. At the bottom, this word is eyes, and this word is anyway. The only logical word that could fit here and end with a Y is many. All that's left is the middle. This is the hardest section. With the letters we have, it leaves a lot to the imagination. The only way this word can end is dimensional, which means the only logical word here is portals. Finally, this appears to be got too smart, who needs her, and all that remains is this section. This could be hypothetical or how to seal, but that doesn't really matter. We've figured out the important parts here. The smartest one. Figured out dimensional portals. Got too smart. Who needs her? Too many eyes anyway. Wow, this is big. She figured out something about the dimensional portals, which makes sense considering we know she has her own dimensional device. Set coords to dimension reality. She was important to Bill because those portals are very important to him. That's great, but now this begs the question, why does he need the portals anyway? If he was able to go to Earth and start manipulating people to make his portal before he had the portal, why does he need it? Well, to answer this, we have to understand something very important about Bill. Something so important that it uncovers most of the remaining secrets about this world and definitively answers a question that we had all the way back in the first episode. And to start, we need to talk about dimensions. Just like Bill explained in the book, this lore takes place within the multiverse, and we are included within it. Bill knows of our existence and places us right here in the multiverse. There are multiple dimensions that we know of. The Oracle is in Dimension 52, the Nightmare Realm is Dimension 0, Stanford learns in Journal 3 that the dimension Gravity Falls is in is called Dimension 46'/', the Oracle set coordinates to Dimension Reality, and then, of course, there's our dimension. Now, here's the issue. In episode 1, we said that it was hard to know whether Gravity Falls' dimension and our dimension were the same or not, but now it gets even more confusing. Bill has mentioned breaking the fourth wall before, and now we're dealing with a dimension called reality. So, is that our dimension as well? I'm so confused. We need to solve this once and for all. We need to know what dimension is connected to the other. So, first things first. Does Gravity Falls take place in our dimension, or are they separate? We weren't able to explain this before, but with the new information that the website gave us, we can answer this definitively. We mentioned previously that the photos in the book seem to point towards our timelines being separate. If the Pines family can directly show us photos of them and they are animated, it seems definitive that we exist in two separate dimensions, right? One animated and one real. Well, I'm not so sure about that anymore. If you type "on your mind" into the computer, you can see a video of the ocean from a boat, and you can hear Grunkle Stan talking. The important part is that what we see is real. This is real water, not animated. Now, in the Book of Bill, he constantly refers to our dimension and Gravity Falls' dimension as one and the same. Your dimension had a guardian, when referring to the Time Baby. If my planet's so average, why did you want to conquer it? And you get to go to Gravity Falls, shake my statue's hand, and then it happens. Not only this, but when going over Bill's slow takeover of Earth, everything is hyper-realistic. A photo of him as a parade balloon, real people watching his cartoon where he released bees, him with real government employees, and the Maniacintosh. We are now dealing with pictures of both real people and animated people. Bill only took over one Earth, so somehow these have to be connected. But how? We need something bigger. We need a smoking gun to help explain this. Wait a minute. Smoking. Smokey the Bear. Back in 2016, an account was created called Oregon Parks Department. This was clearly a promotional page for Gravity Falls, considering Gravity Falls is located in Oregon, and it was posting content teasing Journal 3. Coming up to the release of the Book of Bill, it started posting cryptic content involving Bill Cipher, posted by a ranger named Gus Burnside, a yellow street sign, a Bill popsicle, and then pictures of the book itself. You can input the name Burnside into the website, which will say burned inside, and inputting that code will show you the scorched remains of Gus's park ranger gear. Looking back at the account, there's one photo that sticks out. This picture of a tree stump that I used as the background photo for the first 2 episodes. See that? Callbacks. Now, this photo was also seen in the book. Right next to the picture, it says, "Park rangers don't want you to know this, but if you saw in half any ancient redwood in Gravity Falls, you can see each time I visited." Boom! A character that's connected to the lore posted a real picture of an ancient redwood in Gravity Falls. But I still don't really like this as our smoking gun. If only there was something from the show that we can see in our world to really prove that our dimensions are the same. Well, luckily for us, if you type tourist trap into the website, it will show you a pamphlet for the Cave of Mystery. Not only can you see a Bill Cipher bat, you can also see the cave paintings from the show. This makes sense. Everything that's come out recently that isn't the show's characters or locations is hyper-realistic and representative of our world. The tree log, the Easter Island portal, the dolphins in the website's axolotl, Glass Shard Beach, New Jersey, and the Stan of War 2. Now, why are there locations and characters that are also animated? Well, this seems to be a consequence of style and consistency. Alex Hirsch can't just make the show characters live action now, so the locations and characters that we have come to know are still animated. Bill keeps talking about our world as if it was Gravity Falls, because it is. We are Dimension 46''. Okay, that's a huge step in the right direction, but now it's time to talk about reality, because there are some big implications with this. When typing reality into the website, we can see all of the henchmaniacs, and the caption says, "They found a new home." We learn from Hot Skeletl that they all had a shared motive of wanting the home that they never had, and this is what Bill Cipher emptily promised them. But based on the Oracle being the one who inputs said coordinates that lead us to this image, it seems that she was finally able to give them the home that they always wanted. In those photos, we can not only see that they are hyper-realistic images, but we can also see real people in them. Something being called reality already suggests that it's talking about our dimension, especially with the book mentioning fourth walls, and now we're dealing with more hyper-realistic images. But this can't be our world because the Oracle said that this was the one reality where she may be safe from Bill, and Bill was able to invade our reality. I mean, he was stopped, but he still did it. It feels like we're going in a circle. If our world is the same as Gravity Falls, it feels like it can't be reality because that's where the Oracle and the Henchmaniacs went to escape Bill, but then what else would be called reality? Now, if our world was the same as reality, how do we explain the mountains of evidence that Gravity Falls takes place in our dimension? We've looped. Clearly, we have to turn elsewhere for our answer. We have to turn to Bill Cipher. In the Book of Bill, there are multiple mentions of the fourth wall. At the end of the book, he says, "After everything I did for you, I showed you my childhood. I broke the fourth wall for you." And it's mentioned again during the alert from the Time Baby. Right under his mugshot is a whole bunch of numbers that is, in fact, a ciphertext. It's called A1Z26, and it's really simple. Each number represents the letter in their respective place in the alphabet, hence A1Z26. This text reads, "Can warp narrativity, protect fourth walls." Narrativity is something that you often hear about stories. Is this referring to the Gravity Falls show? Well, I thought so at first, until I realized that there's so much more to this. Typing unreality will pop up with this strange message from Bill. He tells you how to be immortal, and the instructions are very interesting. He says, to become truly immortal, you have to transfer the most precious thing you have, your identity, out of your body and into the realm of ideas. In short, you have to create a story about yourself that's so compelling that it's carried virally in the minds of humanity forever. A little further down, he says something very important. Reality is divided into two properties: physical atoms and stories. Stories are just as real as physical reality, but they exist in a separate realm. The physical world creates and spreads stories, but the story world controls the motives and thoughts of the physical world. Your identity can propagate and outlive your frail body in the Mindscape. You can join me, but first, you need to wake up from the dream of reality and into the truth of fiction. Whew, that was a lot right there, Bill, and very confusing. But what Bill is saying here is that reality and fiction are both real, just in different realms. This means that a story is technically real. Now, this is really interesting, especially with Bill's obsession over our world. At the end of the book, Bill says, "I thought you'd have the stomach to break me out early, but you turned out like all the rest. Just like Sixer, who ruined my one shot at liberating reality." Is Bill suggesting that he isn't real? But he is. We've seen him. Unless he's implying that he's simply a story. I mean, he did say the only way to join him is through the Mindscape, but still, this feels off. If we're going to say this, we need hard evidence. We need to look at the Mindscape. There are a few things we know about the Mindscape. In the Book of Bill, we learn that it's a secret backdoor connecting all consciousness and known as his playground. If you're asleep, a tunnel opens up from your mind to the Mindscape. The Mindscape being his playground makes sense because he is the dream demon, and we have seen that when people are asleep, he can take over their bodies. In Journal 3, Stanford said that the way to keep Bill Cipher out of your mind is to never sleep, and when he does fall asleep, we can see that Bill has taken over the text that says, "Guess who?" That's right, pal. Ol' Six Fingers just conked out, and that means Captain Bill is steering the ship. This is why both Bill hunting suits are mainly comprised of ways to prevent the person inside from falling asleep. Mr. Cipher strikes in your dreams, so you must not fall prey to slumber, and Stanford's anti-sleep measures. We also know that Bill does his deals while the person is asleep. After he confronts Dipper, we can see Dipper wake up from a dream, and after he makes a deal with Gideon, we can see him suddenly open and rub his eyes, and Seuss and Mabel open their eyes as well. For further proof, everything during these scenes are in black and white, and after entering Grunkle Stan's mind when he's sleeping, the entire environment is in black and white. Wait a minute, that's what that means. On the inside of the Book of Bill's sleeve, we can see what was once owned by Stanford in the show. It shows our world and the Nightmare Realm, and in the middle is the Mindscape with author text on it that reads, white and black. He's talking about the world of the Mindscape being white and black. Now, this is an interesting thing to think about. Really taking a look at this, it shows that our world is connected to the Nightmare Realm via the Mindscape. Maybe more answers lie in the Nightmare Realm. Let's take a look. Well, for one, we know that the Nightmare Realm is where Bill Cipher resides. In the Book of Bill, he says, with no consistent laws, physical or judicial, my new unclaimed space between spaces was the perfect realm to overthrow. We also know from Stanford that the Nightmare Realm isn't exactly normal. Bill's universe is not exactly a dimension, but rather a boiling, shifting intergalactic foam between dimensions. A lawless, unstable crawl space between worlds that only the strangest and most unknowable beings call home. So clearly, this dimension is so abnormal that it can't even be called a dimension. It's a world between worlds. There are no rules here. Actually, this sounds similar to the Mindscape. In the show, Stanley says this.
Word to the wise, kid. We're in the mind. You can do whatever you can imagine in here.
And this is further shown by Dipper here.
I just learned that you can conjure whatever you can conceive in Grunkle Stan's Mindscape.
The Mindscape, just like the Nightmare Realm, doesn't have any set of rules. Both of these places are Bill's domain where he is able to do anything, but not in our world. In fact, he isn't able to start Weirdmageddon until a portal is opened that connects our world and the Nightmare Realm. It's not until that point that he even gains a body.
Physical form? Don't mind if I do!
He is not physical until the dimensions are connected. Clearly, there is something different about the Nightmare Realm and the Mindscape, but what? What is the difference? I wish he could just tell me. Wait, maybe he did. In the show, Dipper did a deal with Bill where he used his body as his own personal puppet. He possessed him, and Dipper was stuck like a ghost, even able to float through walls. Bill explains this to him by saying,
Ha! Welcome to the Mindscape, kid! Without a vessel to possess, you're basically a ghost!
but then he drops this bombshell.
I'm gonna find that journal before you do, and I'm gonna stop you!
But how can you stop me? If you don't exist.
That's our answer. Bill told us that we can be anything we've ever dreamed. He told us that the only thing we need to do is enter the Mindscape, and only in the Mindscape and the Nightmare Realm can you do anything we can conceive of. That's where we can be everything we've ever dreamed. He said that reality is divided into two properties: physical atoms and stories. Stories are just as real as physical reality, but they exist in a separate realm. Not a dimension, a realm. The place where Bill resides, according to Stanford, isn't quite exactly a dimension. It doesn't follow any laws of physics. Bill even told us at the beginning of the book that he's imaginary and we are real. He is simply an idea. Later in the book, when he talks about urban legends, he puts himself in there too. I'm the best urban legend of all. He talks about other legends as well that reside in the mirror realm, which is the word he specifically used to separate reality and fiction, but he himself lives in the nightmare realm. He says that the brain is the link to the story realm, and the only way to get there is through the Mindscape. The only way for Bill to interact with people is through the Mindscape. Bill isn't real. He resides in the story realm. He wanted to finally escape the realm of fiction and finally liberate reality. Those are the fourth walls in question. Not just the show, but stories. He is immortal because he created a story about himself, and stories have a narrative. He is powerful enough to warp narrativity and break the fourth walls between the real realm and the story realm through the Mindscape. In fact, he can't even do much damage in the physical realm. He had to lure the Time Baby to the Nightmare realm to beat him. Before you could say tantrum, Diapers and his army had warped to the Nightmare realm and right into my trap. What, you thought I was gonna play peekaboo with him? The physics don't work the same out here, and my henchmaniacs had zero moral hang-ups about punching a baby. And this is why he couldn't invade the Time Baby's mind. And don't even try to enter his mind. Baby brains don't have object permanence, so if I walked inside his head, I'd be erased the moment he saw jingling keys. He doesn't have a physical body because he's not real. So if he was to exist inside someone without object permanence, the story alongside him would cease to exist. That's why he was able to be defeated by the memory gun. Without a physical form, he can only exist in a realm where laws of physics don't exist. A space between spaces. A nightmare realm. Oh my God, I can't believe we did that. That is huge. We fully understand Bill Cipher and why he needs a portal. Only with a gateway between reality and fiction can he finally exist. That's his obsession over portals, and that's why the Oracle was so important to him. Not only that, but this is why he's so interested in Gravity Falls. In the Book of Bill, he says, "The only thing special about Earth is that it happens to coexist on a weak spot between dimensions, like a thin, breakable crust on a creme brulee. With my nightmare realm slowly collapsing under the weight of its own greatness, your reality was the perfect dimension for me and my pals to party hop to." As well as the next page where we see, much in the same way that objects of great density warp space-time, objects of great peculiarity warp probability, attracting anomalies. The first describes the law of gravity, the second describes the law of gravity falls. And Bill responds with, "It was true. This postcard perfect valley had everything a demon could want in a new home. A razor-thin membrane between its dimension and the nightmare realm. This is why Gravity Falls is so weird. It's not quite fiction, not quite reality, and that's why it's so perfect for Bill to enter through." Now, that is great and all, but we still have our main question that we started with. Where did the Oracle go with the Henchmaniacs, and why is it against the rules to go there? Well, we know that reality is a dimension that can be reached through a portal, as evident with Bill Cipher, but does that mean that the Oracle and the Henchmaniacs are also fictional? Well, I think the answer is pretty clear. There are a whole bunch of different types of beings that live within fiction. Urban legends, the mirror realm, and the inhabitants of the nightmare realm. In Journal 3, Ford found refugees lost to the nightmare realm. These refugees entered it after being sucked into a dimensional wormhole, and Stanford said that when things in the multiverse go missing, they usually end up here. Like we said before, this is a dimension between dimensions. It connects all of them. Bill was able to enter it after the destruction of Euclidia, becoming something lost himself. He has beckoned us to join him and become fiction as well. He is able to make others fictional, and he and his henchmaniacs inhabited this fictional realm, so yeah, it makes sense that they would be fictional. We even got our long-sought hard evidence in the actual quote on the Polaroid. Set coordinates for dimension reality. They entered reality. It's the only place that might be safe from Bill Cipher. He has full control over the Mindscape, full control over the realm of fiction, but not reality. That's why we see everyone as hyper-realistic. They finally entered the realm of reality. But now for our final question. Why is doing this against the rules? Well, to answer this, we have to turn back to the show. Bill is able to fully enter reality due to the weirdness magnetism around Gravity Falls. It attracts things, but it also keeps things in. The only way for Bill to break through this barrier is with an equation that Stanford has, but when he refuses to share it, Bill says this.
I'll just fish around and get that equation directly out of your mind.
Not so fast. You know the rules, Bill. You may be able to haunt my dreams, but you can't enter my mind unless I shake your hand and let you in.
There are rules for how fiction interacts with reality. That's why going to reality is against the rules. Everything makes sense. Gravity Falls is split into 3 worlds: reality, fiction, and the bridge between the two is the Mindscape. Due to laws of physics within dimensions, fictional beings cannot exist, so they have to occupy areas between dimensions. Bill is one of these beings. He is able to break the 4th wall between fiction and reality. One of his henchmaniacs, the Oracle, figured out a way to bring him back into the physical world, a portal that connects their realms. However, the Oracle got too smart, left the henchmaniacs, and wished for Bill's reign of terror to end. Gravity Falls was the easiest place for Bill to enter, as its connection to reality was weak. Once he created his rift there, he was finally able to gain a physical form again. However, once he left that body to enter Stanley's head, becoming simply a story again, he was able to be wiped from existence with the memory gun. It didn't fully work, and Bill Cipher is still alive, so the Oracle took her old friends to the one place that might be safe from Bill Cipher. She took them out of the realm of fiction and into the realm of reality. Boom! Holy shit, that was a lot. But like always, we're not done yet. There is still more to talk about. While we are finally done talking about Bill Cipher, there is a lot hidden under the surface. The axolotl is still floating about, remaining mysterious, but we know his truth. But for my own sanity, we will have to leave that for another episode. Now, insanely, we have just hit over 100,000 subscribers. That's insane. I can't thank you enough. Luckily, I know where to start. Megacat Studios has graciously given me 2 Steam keys for the new FNAF game, Into the Pit. Now, I could do a normal giveaway, but what's the fun in that? This channel is all about decoding and uncovering mysteries, so now I shall give one to you. In the description of this video, there is a link which will send you on a quest for these 2 Steam keys. If people enjoy this, I'll consider doing this more often. But good luck and happy hunting. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to ring that bell after subscribing so you can know exactly when we share more pieces to the Gravity Falls puzzle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. Comment down below if you have any information that could either prove or disprove this theory. Once again, this is still just a theory, so it can always be disproven later when we learn more information. If you want to talk to my team and I directly, or other fans and theorists, make sure to join our Discord or check out our subreddit. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.